Have you ever saw anyone in half? It's probably another stupid question. Okay, with your mind.
With your mind?
Hang on. The litigation is still pending on that, so we're at this portion. I'm actually not allowed to talk about that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Maximum Zach, and on today's episode, we have Psychic Buster. He's a mentalist, and he blew my mind.
Tell him how we became best friends.
Yeah, we became best friends. I'm not being held against my will right now.
We went out for pizza and ice cream afterwards.
Yeah, we went out for pizza and ice cream, and he's not mentalizing my mind right now to make me say this, so...
Definitely not mentalizing you and making you say any of this.
He's not making me say any of this right now. Well, let's get into this episode. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Psychic Buster. I'm not actually psychic, but I'm actually a neurodivergent weirdo who pretends to read minds. Mm-hmm. And then I'm a magician, but I'm a mentalist, which is a very specific kind of magician. It's a magician who combines sleight of hand with psychology to create the illusion of being psychic. Okay. And then you mush all that together and you get this.
So, like magicians, they usually don't reveal how they do things. Are you able to say how you do things, or how does that work? Because like, isn't that like a code with like magicians where they don't reveal their tricks?
Yeah, but I don't really like most magicians. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I shouldn't have said that. Okay. Cut that later.
No, you're built different, dude.
So there's obviously I'm not going to reveal. I learn sleight of hand from other guys. Other guys develop the tricks I do. I'm not going to reveal their secrets.
Yeah.
But
that would be
I do talk a lot about the psychology part behind what I do.
Okay.
So the stuff that's like my brain is all about like weird pattern recognition. I have ADHD, PTSD, dyslexia, and I'm on the autism spectrum. Mm-hmm. So just the weird calculations that happen in my mind that are actually part of the effects. I can talk about those a lot.
Okay, cool.
But most of what I do is actually bullshit. It has nothing to do with my neurodivergent weirdness. It's just magic tricks.
How did you get into this?
I think I was born like this. I just came out. The brain chemistry wasn't really a choice.
Yeah.
So when I was, this is a true story. When I was 3, I started drawing and sculpting. Just became obsessed with creating stuff. When I was 5, I saw my first magician on TV. It was actually, I don't know what the show was, but I know it had a bunch of magicians. I remember seeing a few of the greats who I later learned who they were and got to meet them on that show. Anyway, I was at my grandparents' house, and when the show ended, they couldn't find me. So the family goes looking for me. They found me in the kitchen. I grabbed my Winnie the Pooh and shoved him into my Addams Family lunchbox and grabbed one of my grandfather's saws. And they caught me right before I went down on poor Pooh Bear. So left me in the middle of the lunchbox. He was going to be okay. He was going to be okay. But still, that was when my obsession with magic started. And it was kind of off and on until I was about 16, and then I got really serious about it.
Yeah. Like when you got serious about it, like what did you do? Like where did you go first? Like how did you figure out?
How do you become a serious magician?
Yeah, how do you become serious?
First, I think that might be an oxymoron, serious magician.
That's a good
but we'll work with it anyway. There was a shop in Anaheim called Best Magic and Costume, and I lived in Orange County most of my life. So I knew about the shop. I'd been there once or twice when I was younger. My family really didn't want me to be a magician. Like literally, at times bribed me to do anything but magic. But I was 16, and I was old enough that I could hop on my bike and go and find this magic shop. And literally, they finally gave me a job about 2 years after I came in because I was just there all the freaking time. They figure I may as well demonstrate the tricks and help them sell stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, dude. That's great. So, So you did your own solo show recently?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hollywood Fringe Festival. I did the Untitled Psychic Buster project.
Oh, that's awesome. So how did that go?
I think it went well.
Yeah.
The audiences didn't complain too much, so I'm assuming they think it went well too.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 times. And I thought it went well all 3 times. By the way, I think we should mention to the people at home, Buster is like one of my best friends in the entire world. So It's not just weird that I saw his show.
So
3
no
times.
nepotism or any favoritism.
None of that.
If
If he sucked, I would tell him straight up that he sucks, but he doesn't suck.
Welcome to my 45-minute commercial on Zach's podcast.
And he is not Santa.
Definitely not Santa. No, we're totally
Definitely
different
not
people.
Santa.
Yeah,
completely
not
different
Santa.
From last year, but
I might look a little bit like the guy who was Santa on the podcast last year.
Not
but
him.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it is about to be that time of year again, though. So who knows? We might have Santa back on the pod.
Oh, the naughty list is big this year. The naughty list is really
big this year. It's immensely worse than before. Like people have done way worse things. Lots of people, lots of big people that are going to be
not the kids. Not the kids. The kids are not on the naughty list. The kids are all golden this year. Yeah. Grown-ups, on the other hand, I got some issues. I mean, Santa has some issues.
Santa's got issues.
Not me, though, because I'm not Santa.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Wow.
Off track so
That
quick.
train of thought is so derailed.
Yeah,
So derailed.
it is gone. So, what was like one of the first tricks you ever did? Like, or one of the first magic tricks in general?
Remember my mom actually got me a set of cups and balls. I was like maybe 7 years old. She got me the cups and balls trick from Knott's Berry Farm when they had a magic shop there a billion years ago. And so I'm like 7 years old and I'm trying to learn it. And my technique, which I developed on my own, by the way, this wasn't actually in the instructions. I created my own technique, is I would put the cup there, right? And I would put the ball on top. Because the thing is, you put the ball on top of the cup, and then you put another cup on top to cover it. When you lift this cup, the ball's gone, and now it's gone under the first cup. That's the magic thing. So you cover it, and then you lift the bottom cup, and now it's penetrated the cup. My technique that I created myself at 7 years old was, okay, Mom, turn around and don't look. And then I would take the ball and put it under the... And that wasn't in the instructions. That was totally me. That was all me. And that was,
Magic genius from a young age.
Yeah. My techniques have evolved a little bit since then, but
just a bit.
that core is still there.
That's fair.
Actually, you've seen the show 3 times. That's very much the vibe of the
I'm
show.
well aware. You don't got to tell me twice. That is the vibe. Is there, and I'm asking this kind of half knowing the answer, but like you do inject a lot of humor into what you do. Is that just through like natural happenstance, or do you feel like it's better to include that when you are doing these feats of like meditation for people to kind of put them at ease a little bit?
I think part of it is, and there's like this whole journey where I went from being a kids entertainer. I was actually like one of the top 30 balloon artists in the world.
Oh, no way.
Traveled to balloon conventions all over the world because balloon artists wanted to learn the stuff that I knew. So freaking weird. Like, that's not a sentence you should actually say out loud. Like, someday I'm going to be in the home. This is my dream. This is what I aspire to. Someday I'm going to be in the home and just babbling. At one point I had a toy line, but it didn't go anywhere. And then we started working on a cartoon animated project that I was going to have on Nickelodeon or maybe PBS, but that kind of stalled out. And then the nurse was going to say, "That's nice, Mr. Caldwell. Now take your pudding so you can have your pills." And that's how I want to go out.
But it's
that's
all
how I want
true.
to end. I know, that's the best part.
So you almost had like an animated show?
Oh yeah. It's technically it's not dead yet, but we haven't really.
What is
back
it
for a
exactly?
while.
Can you talk about it?
Buster Balloon. We're working on a computer animated 3D like preschool show with me as the main character and my balloon friends that come to life and have adventures.
Oh, okay, that's actually cool.
It's fucking okay. So
and I threw all that away to make people wonder if I'm psychic or not.
can you talk a little bit about
back to the comedy thing?
Oh yeah, comedy thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
So yeah, when I was younger, because I've always been like a horror fan, I always like kind of dark stuff. So like when I was younger, I thought I was gonna be like the horror magician, like before Chris Angel and David Blaine, I was gonna be that dark, edgy guy. And
Can you imagine him as dark
even
and
at 16, I couldn't pull that
Mind
off.
free.
So yeah, right.
psychic buster? Mind
So
free.
Yeah.
like my whole life, and like why I went from balloon twisting to this, like my whole life is about becoming more and more genuinely me as I go. And so when I was 16, I really thought that I could pull off being the dark stranger, this mystic, spooky character, and nobody bought it. So, eventually I realized I'm a goofball. At my core, in my soul, I'm a freaking goofball. And if I lean into that, not only do people enjoy it more, because people like to laugh, but also it feels more genuine.
Yeah.
And they feel connected to me. And, you know, with balloons, like I said, I started drawing and sculpting when I was 3, starting magic when I was 5. When I was 18, I discovered balloon twisting, and that was like the perfect mashup where I was creating visual art, but also making people laugh and entertain them at the same time. And eventually I started doing balloon shows on stage. So that was really like the perfect place for that art form. But then I realized that I kind of wanted to move past that. Like it's very easy for me to connect with kids. Because I just am one. Connecting with adults was a whole new challenge for me. And also, as I was getting deeper into this whole thing, so talking about the journey, right?
Yeah.
So when I was, because welcome to the old folks hour. I'm going to tell you all the stuff about me. Gather around the fireplace. So back in my day, when I was about 19, just like as a society, we finally figured out what was and started talking about dyslexia. Like, but I never heard that word growing up.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I had a word and I understood why I had struggled all through school, right? And then when I was in my early 30s, as a society, our zeitgeist, we started talking about ADHD. It's like, bing, another light bulb moment. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That explains so much about me.
Yeah.
And I just turned 54 a couple weeks ago. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, I was visiting my doctor, getting my annual checkup. And I said, hey, so I have a lot of friends who are on the autism spectrum, and I've been learning a lot about autism. And I think that I might be on the spectrum myself. Do you think I should get tested? And her professional opinion, and I'm paraphrasing here, was, duh. So that was kind of a weird thing to learn about myself in my 50s.
Yeah.
Because now I'm looking back like my whole life through that lens of, oh crap, everything makes so much more sense now, right? And so, yeah, Psychic Buster really came out of, there was a time in my life when I believed in psychics and magic and all of that stuff. And for a time, I really thought that I was psychic. Now I look back and realize that I have this weird pattern recognition thing in my brain. And unconsciously, I will pick out patterns in people's behaviors.
Okay.
That help me pinpoint certain things. So what I thought was being psychic was actually just my brain going, oh yeah, we've seen this before. That happened, that happened, that happened. They're going to do this next. So that's what Psychic Buster was born out of. It was wanting to connect with people and wanting to be that really authentic, genuine version of myself that I literally had never been up until that point.
No, that's awesome. Well, that's
and
great.
of course,
like,
humor's a part of it because, again, giant goofball. I can't help myself.
yeah. I mean, like leaning into like just being like more authentic and like doing what like, you want to do and what feels good and stuff. That's always great.
And also, like when, aside from just it being me, when it comes to discussing being neurodivergent, that can get very heavy.
Yeah.
So keeping it light and having a sense of humor about it really helps.
Yeah.
And also, mentalism's ooky. Like and I know I'm gonna get heat for this. I don't care. You'll cut this later, right? So here's the thing: most mentalists, I am not most mentalists. I practice what I like to call consensual mentalism. I coordinate and cooperate with people to make the things happen. But really, a lot of mentalism, even though it's fake, the feeling that you have at the end of it is that somebody just put their grubby little fingers into your mind and pulled out whatever piece of information they wanted. And that is ooky as all hell. I want to make like a fun, light, enjoyable, comfortable experience. I'm like the huggable mentalist. That was the weirdest thing about my friend's show is how many people hugged me during the show. And I didn't expect that. But there were so many moments I created where just somebody just had such a genuine moment of human connection with me that at the end of it, they would hug me before they went back to their seats. It's like, this is kind of cool. I'm onto something. Plus, I like hugs, so that's
that was kind of
awesome.
touching to watch, even like from the audience, seeing how you connect. I mean, obviously, I watch you do this quite often, but I feel like the show was different because I feel like you connected even more with these people, and the way you explained how your brain works, I feel like that helped them connect with you a little more. On top of
Who is that guy? I wasn't aware he was going to be talking this much.
I know, right?
that son of a bitch.
When are you doing the show again anytime soon? Like, I want to go to the show.
Well, they just announced the dates for the 2025 festival.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
I probably will go back with a new show this year because I really
cool.
did enjoy it.
Hell yeah. No, I
He's
definitely want
talking
to
about
check
the
that out.
Hollywood Fringe Festival. For those of you in Los Angeles, you should definitely check it out. I
Definitely.
had a show last year, the year before. Buster show was great. Zach, you should do a fucking show this year. What the?
Yeah, I should.
But yeah, I do occasionally do theater pop-ups here and there. And also I do a lot of private events. So feel free to hire me so that you can see my show at your company party, your office Christmas party, or in your very own home with your friends. Buster.
Please, for the love of God. He's got bills to pay.
I have a small dog to
And
feed.
dog to feed.
Little tiny one. They'll put a picture up later so you can see. She's adorable.
Corbin, I'll send it to you.
Cute dog. Here's the dog. So, okay, so when you started out, like, you were doing, like, more, like, magician stuff and that, or not, I know you, also, actually, let me take that back. How complicated, like, what's, like, the most complicated, like, balloon art that you've done?
There's a website called balloonmanor.com. If you go there, the first 3 Balloon Manor projects, I was the co-lead designer and I was the head monster maker.
Okay.
So we did 3 haunted houses made out of balloons.
Oh, no way.
10,000 square feet, 150,000 balloons.
Oh, my gosh.
So literally, with the exception of the floor and the ceiling, everything was made out of balloons. The walls, the furniture, the monsters, all of it. And we would bring in about 60 balloon artists from around the world. And then we'd have about 100 just local volunteers with no balloon experience. Their job was just to blow up and tie balloons so we could make the big stuff like the walls. So we could have like a factory going. And within a week, we would build this entire thing and then keep it up for about a week and a half to do tours and raise money for local charities, and then grab a box of toothpicks and just go through that.
Just pop each one individually.
I'm sure that's immensely satisfying.
Yeah, that would be
is.
like really fun,
is.
actually.
The first the guy who was the lead designer named Larry Moss with Origami in New York. The first project I did with him was called Flying an Octopus, where we built a giant octopus, and then there was a guy who did cluster flights, where like he takes a bunch of weather balloons, straps them onto a climbing harness, and goes up.
That's sick.
Sounds like a jackass stunt, honestly.
Yeah.
Seriously, so should have been.
It should have been.
Yeah.
If that's going to happen again, I can hook you up. For
Yeah.
So this guy who did cluster flights, we built this giant, like 20-foot tall octopus out of balloons, and then we put him in his rig. We lowered him down onto it. He latched onto it with a carabiner and shot it up into the air and flew it over Rochester, New York. But there's great video of that. You can find the documentary of Flying an Octopus online, and it looks like a nature documentary where they show like the ants in fast time, like devouring a corpse in the forest, just watching this huge giant balloon octopus just go down. And there's like 100 volunteers with toothpicks going. Bing, 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 bing.
That's awesome.
Fucking amazing.
That's great.
Buster Balloon was on America's Got Talent also.
Oh, you were?
Season 1. They hated me. It was awesome.
They hated you? Why?
Well, first off, season 1, you had Brandy, the only person on the judges' table who had any kind of talent whatsoever.
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff and Pierce Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, real luminaries of the variety arts there. So, by the way, Hasselhoff, this wasn't on camera, of course, but I was sitting behind a juggling duo and next to another guy who was a juggler. Hasselhoff walks in, because like they have security and like we had to be in our seats in the audience because they didn't actually have an audience back then. So like all the acts were the audience for each other. So we're in the audience. It's like, all right, everyone has to remain seated while we bring the judges in. Whatever. So Hasselhoff comes in. The first thing he does before he takes his seat is he looks out at us and says, by the way, just so everybody knows, I fucking hate jugglers. It's like, really, dude? Really?
Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, what happened to him?
So the judges hated me, but the secret thing is, like, you don't go on there necessarily to get the end of it. You go on there to get time on TV, right? So yeah, they buzzed me off and they hated me.
Yeah.
But I booked $10,000 in corporate gigs after that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like directly from that appearance.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, totally worth it. Yeah.
To be fair, it's a great fucking appearance, too.
Yeah.
Why,
It's
thank you.
hilarious.
No, that's totally worth it. Hell yeah. So, have you ever, like, this is such a stupid question.
Excellent.
Have you ever, like, had a balloon pop in your mouth and then you accidentally sucked in all the air?
No. That was a stupid question. Why would you ask that?
I've had that happen to me, dude. Like,
How?
It's like,
when
oh.
the balloon pops, it just like it goes outward.
or, like, not even pop. Like, I guess I said it wrong. Like, where you're, like, blowing it up and then all the air just goes back out. Like, I've had that happen where I've been like...
Oh, when you're blowing
When I was beginning, yes.
Yeah,
when I was
yeah.
starting out,
Yeah.
you make a lot of those rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
The big thing that was hard for me because I did mouth inflate my balloons, and most balloon twisters use a pump. I was stupid, old school.
Yeah.
Word. So what the hell was that? I didn't think that goes with what I did. That was so yeah. I used to mouth inflate, and every once in a while, one would pop while you're blowing it up, and again, like the pieces blow out. Every once in a while, a piece would come back and snap you right in the freaking eye, and oh my god, that is the worst pain in the world. So I used to always blow my balloons like this, like to shield myself, but like. Once every 2 years, one little piece would get by and knock me in the eye, and I'd be out of commission for a few minutes.
Fuck. Have you ever saw anyone in half? This is probably another stupid question. Okay, with your mind.
With your mind?
Hang on. The litigation is still pending on that.
Legally not allowed to talk
We're not
about
allowed to talk about that until the case is resolved.
it. Next question.
Okay, next question.
Moving on.
Next question.
For legal reasons, no. Psychic Buster has never solved anyone in half.
You have done the head chopper, though. I love that.
What's that?
The head chopper? That's one of my favorite bits.
All right. So there was this stupid variety show that we did for about a year called the Monster Kid Club. And it was my spooky alter ego, Dr. Zombo, who's like a late night horror movie host character. And Jeff's puppet Barry Under Your Bed was my co-host.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who has this horrifying looking wooden head chopper illusion.
It looks like a guillotine,
it looks like something out of a medieval torture museum.
Yeah.
It weighs a ton. It is solid. And yeah, so we put. At first, we're like, okay, well, we can't put the girl in there because that's, typical misogynistic magician thing. Of course, we put the girl in there. So it's like, all right, so we'll put me in there. Well, turns out I am not built for that because I have a very manly neck that apparently was not intended for this illusion.
We didn't figure that out until like 5 minutes before the show started, too. I totally
No.
forgot about that.
We had at least 10 minutes before.
Okay, that's right. Excuse me.
So yeah, I'm like my skin is pinched between the sides of the socket. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. So, like, what are we gonna do? Put the puppet in it.
Put the fucking puppet in it.
So just the stupidity of like Jeff is in there with the puppet. Like even if this thing worked, like you realize it's a puppet. The guy could just pull his hand out so he doesn't get hurt. But but no, you're in the moment and the illusion that the puppet who in your head is alive because why wouldn't it be? Is in the head chopper. We take this massive like giant Bugs Bunny Sultan sword on a handle, and
which is real,
through
by
it.
the way, because
Oh,
we were
it is
chopping
solid.
We were chopping like vegetables before that to show people that like,
That's right.
this
We
was
did a
real.
recipe bit. We We're going to teach them the official Monster Kid Club salad recipe.
Salad recipe. That's
So we
what it
put
was.
a head of cabbage in there. We chopped that. We put some carrots in. We chopped those. And then we put Barry in there. How you doing, Barry?
No, great!
Count three. 1, 2, 3. Push!
My legs!
Which didn't get chopped.
Yeah,
Did
no,
not get shot.
Barry
Did not
is
get
still alive under
Still
Jeff's
alive.
bed.
Under my bed. Yes, sir.
Yep.
That's
where
one of
he
my favorite
lives.
bits, though. The head chopper is...
And the great line, as soon as we shove the head chopper through Barry's neck, he looks at the audience and screams, "I can't feel my legs!" for those who don't know, Barry doesn't have legs.
0 legs. Love that.
That's
Good bit,
hilarious.
good bit. But I do like how you incorporated a lot of that into the Monster Kid Club shows, because there was always like some kind of weird mentalism or magic bit that happened that always wowed the audience afterward.
Yeah, and so years ago, when I was still doing primarily kids shows and the balloon stuff, which is really a combination of balloons and magic for the shows. The balloons were phenomenal. Like I was literally world renowned for my balloon twisting skills. People loved the magic stuff. For me personally, the one thing that was really lacking in the show was the comedy. It was funny, but it wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. So I went and I decided I was going to go on a quest to become funnier.
Yeah.
So I went to Flappers here in Burbank, and I took their stand-up. I'd actually been working with them for years because they do a show on the weekends for families.
Yeah.
So I went and I took one of their stand-up classes, and it was really interesting because one of the first things that the instructor told us is that in stand-up, like unlike clown or improv, you're not like, it's not about being silly and wacky and that kind of thing. Like in stand-up comedy, the really good stand-up comedy is when you dig deep inside yourself. Like you find those nuggets of realness in you that you can actually make funny. Things that shouldn't be funny that you put out there and you're vulnerable with them and you can get a laugh out of it. That's the most powerful stuff. So just being yourself is where the real funny is going to come from. And so that was great. And that was a real revelation for me because for years I've been trying to create a character and it never worked. And I couldn't figure out why do I see other performers with these wacky alter egos and stuff, and I can't pull that off. And then I went and I took improv with the Groundlings, legendary group. Half of Saturday Night Live has come out of that group over the years. So I took their baby class, their intro one. And first day, the instructor was explaining to us what makes improv different from like clowning or stand-up, for example, is you're not really trying to be funny. In improv, your job is to be in the moment, right? You just want to be present and you want to be real and you want to be there. And then the funny will happen. Like just stupid things will happen, mistakes will happen, and you build on that. And that's where the funny comes. But you don't try to be funny. You try to be authentic and real and in that moment. Yeah. And that's where it comes from. And then I went and I studied clown with some really fantastic, not birthday party club, but like, theatrical, like Cirque du Soleil type clown instructors. And the first thing that they taught me is that unlike improv and stand-up, instead of trying to be silly or funny, what you want to do is just be real. Are we seeing the pattern here? Do you all get this? So all three of them were teaching the exact same thing, but none of them had studied the other disciplines. They just made assumptions about them. All three of them told me the same thing, be yourself. And that, you do stand up. That is the scariest fucking thing in the world. To get in front of strangers and be yourself. But I also discovered that even as a kids entertainer, the less I tried to be a wacky, fun character, the more I was just me doing these things and having an experience in a moment with these people. The audience loved it. And then it was like, okay, that worked. What if I just, obviously it's a kid show. I'm not going to get super raw about my personal life, right? There are still boundaries.
You're like talking about your relationship problems. You're like,
so my wife, no, not going to do that.
Like, please come back.
But just, being a little bit more vulnerable. Like, when a mistake would happen, I stopped trying, because most magicians, it's like, well, your judge of how good a magician you are is how good you cover your mistakes. No, if a mistake happens, I acknowledge it and lean into it and like be willing to completely blow off whatever scripted gag I had. If this is going to be funnier, we're going down this road instead and screw my script. We're going to be in the moment, right? And the more I embrace that realness, like, oh my God, like it was magnetic. Like I developed this insane following. And then... So I've coached a lot of performers over the years, magicians and balloon artists and clowns mostly. And one of the things that I am constantly critiquing them on is hiding from their audience. Because they will literally, like a magician will come out or a clown will come out and they'll have a table that their props sit on. And they will literally stand behind that table like it's a podium doing their show. It's like you are that afraid of your audience that you're literally putting a physical barrier between you and them.
Yeah.
And then I get them past that. But then, like, whatever prop they have, whatever little box or doohickey they're doing the trick with, they're holding it like this in front of them the whole time. It's like, you're still, that's your shield. You're hiding behind that thing. Like, you hold it out here, you hold it over here, you set it down and walk away from it, but you need to get close to your audience and get rid of those barriers. And all of a sudden, it finally clicked after all those years, like, holy crap, I've been using balloons as my shield. Like, I've always known that in a balloon show, as long as I can deliver a really cool balloon at the end of whatever bit I'm doing, the audience will forgive anything. I could read the phone book and then pull out a life-size Roger Rabbit out of balloons, and they think I'm the greatest thing ever. So this was what happens if I go to an audience where I feel very vulnerable, which is I never feel comfortable around adults. So I feel very comfortable with all of you, by the way, but never with adults.
We're not adults.
Exactly. So yeah, what if I go outside my comfort zone with an audience where I really feel naked and vulnerable? And what if I don't have the balloons? Because mentalism, it's not like other magic where, a close-up guy, there's card tricks and whatever, or stage illusions, you got the boxes, the pretty girls. Mentalism really, this case is like literally ready to explode with all the junk I've got shoved in there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the show, none of that matters, because what really comes down to is this. Right? At the end of a mentalism show, it's about literally the mind-to-mind connection that you created with somebody. And that was as raw and vulnerable as I felt I could get as a performer. And that once I made that connection, that was just like, I was so jazzed about that.
No, I bet, dude. No, that's amazing. Like, that, just the whole journey to get to that point is awesome. Like, but what is in the suitcase?
Stuff.
I want to see it.
We've now been talking for an hour and a half. This asshole has not won one trick yet.
Yeah.
Do a trick.
We
boy.
want you to do. We want you to do a mentalism on me.
Holy shit, we got to use that.
That was actually when I was working at the magic shop a billion years ago. Every once in a while, somebody, because people didn't know like the lingo, they were the terminology, so they come in, show me a magic joke, because they don't like trick or illusion. So like, show me one of those magic joke things. Sure. All right, I'm gonna find Zach's card wherever it may be.
Okay.
Whatever it may be. That's exciting. Yes. Zach,
It might be hard to break through this barrier.
we'll see.
The mind of
Luckily, like I
Mind of
said,
a
I'm a
maniac.
fake psychic. I just have to pretend to get through it.
Yeah.
Zach, say stop.
Okay. Stop.
There?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have you take that card.
Okay.
You can show it to the cameras. I won't look. 'Cause
Show it to
Apparently
the middle
that's
camera,
cheating.
Zachary. Actually, no, show it to your camera. Camera one.
Okay.
We can see it.
Camera one.
Camera one.
Camera two.
Camera two.
Camera three.
Okay, got it. We got it.
Camera five.
We good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right, put it right back there for me. Excellent. Zach, I'm going to find your card
Okay.
because that's what I do. Here's I should actually clarify real quick. I'm not going to find your card. Psychic Buster's going to find your card.
Okay.
I know that I am Psychic Buster, but Psychic Buster, not me, but Psychic Buster is going to... It's better if I just show you. You picked a card. You remember the card, right?
Yes.
Good. If you don't, at least the cameras do. So.
I literally wrote it down.
Oh, fantastic.
It would be funny if I forgot the card.
Oh. Hey, look. That's me.
Hey, that's your business
That is
card in the
him.
cards.
So, Zach, what was the card that you picked? Cue card?
Do you remember what it was?
It was Queen Diamonds, right? Is
Yes,
that
it was. Yes, it was.
God damn it.
Now, here's the cool thing, though. Because that could have been luck. Probably not, but it could have
Yeah.
been. But here's something really, really fun. Psychic Buster will find your card no matter where it is and no matter what it is.
Okay.
Which means if you picked another card, Psychic Buster would actually jump from the Queen of Diamonds to whatever card you pick next.
Okay.
I don't think you're convinced. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Stop again, Zach.
Stop.
There?
Yeah.
All right, just look at it this time.
Okay.
Can you put it towards the middle camera? Okay. Got it.
Camera 5. Camera 7. Here we go. I'm going to spread through. Mini Psychic Buster will find your card.
Okay.
You keep one eye on that card and one eye on the deck.
Okay.
And one eye on my hands.
Okay. Good thing my third eye is calcified. Like, not decalcified. So.
Good thing for the cameras, I can see everything.
Okay, hang on. Let me just get... Here... Screw this. Zach, what card you pick?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Whoa. Hang on, wait. Your first card was the Queen of Diamonds, right?
Yeah.
But that's over here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Told you. He always finds the card.
What the fuck? That's so cool.
I fucking love that. So, Buster and I have a thing. I don't know if he knows it's a thing, but whenever I see him perform a new mentalism bit, I always go home and I try to, like, how the fuck did he do that? And I would say, like, I think we're close enough now that, like, maybe 85, 90% of the time I can eventually figure it out. But every once in a while he does something, I'm like, you gotta fucking tell me. It's driving me up the fucking wall how you did this. I don't even know how you did that.
Tell him.
And then he doesn't tell me.
Makes it worse.
He usually doesn't tell me. I usually have to figure
Or
it out.
I lie to him. I give him a false answer, and he believes it.
And
he doesn't know any better.
I don't know. What the fuck do I know? But I love when you do stuff like that. Like that reaction that Zach just gave is so immensely satisfying.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I wasn't even expecting that. I was like, dude, what's happening?
And I think that's part of like the best part of the bit. Like they're thinking, oh fuck, he fucked up. Like this trick is not going to work. And then you blow their mind even further.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, you really have to... Ultimately, you kind of know the magician's going to succeed in the end.
Yeah.
And so it's really my job to create a theatrical structure where you've got to, at some point, at least question whether or not I can pull this off. Even though you know it's in the script that I'm going to. Kind of like, we know the coyote's never going to catch the roadrunner. But we're still going to watch and see what happens along the way.
Yeah, we're invested. Magic, baby. So good.
That was a mentalism.
Here's the thing, because and you both said it. You were both watching my hands.
Yeah.
That was sleight of hand. When I say that mentalism is primarily a combination of psychology and sleight of hand, like that's it. That was half psychology, half sleight of hand. It was half me convincing you that there's no way that card could jump back over here to find these other selections, setting you up with that mental process. So I can have the surprise ending, but also then the sleight of hand that makes all the mechanical stuff work. But yeah, the deck's in my hand the whole time, so you know that there's a really good chance I'm doing sleight of hand or something. Versus if I give you those and I have you mix them up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really bad at this.
Get my hair out of my eyes.
Okay.
Where when I was younger, I actually did have long hair. And like you hear about phantom limb syndrome, every once in a while I will see a hair in my eyes and go, "Oh shit, I've been bald for like 10 years now."
I've never seen you with hair like that.
I mean, no, it's like 20. It's been 20 years since I started shaving my head. Yeah,
I've
yeah, literally. I barely know me with hair at this point. Zach, would you do me a favor and spread those cards out like they're one giant poker hand, so they're facing me? I want to be able to see them.
Okay. Oh my god.
That is excellent, by the way. You're doing great.
You know, I'm doing really bad.
No, you are. You are. Like, this is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, if you're a card magician and you handle cards all the time, sure. For anybody else, not the easiest thing to do. Just spread an entire deck like a poker hand.
I feel like I'm doing a sleight of hand with my feet right now.
You're doing great. Okay, close those up.
Okay.
And would you do me a favor and just give the pack a cut? Set half of it down here.
Okay.
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 Put the other half on top of that.
Okay.
Good. Okay, pick them all up. This is going to be one of those pattern recognition things that we talked about earlier with my weird ADHD brain.
Okay.
Give them another cut for me.
Okay. Okay. Put them down.
Put half down.
Yeah.
Okay. That is very consistent, Zach. Okay, pick them up again. I should really have you cut them one more time, but I've got a pretty good feeling. Okay, give them one more mix.
Okay. So one more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can cut them or whatever works. You don't have to do anything too fancy.
Okay.
All right, and then spread them out for me one more time so I can take a look at them.
Okay.
I know I'm asking a lot. Try to get the middle open a little bit so I can really see those. Yeah. Got it. Close them up.
Okay.
Okay, Zach. One more cut. Cut a stack off the top. Set them down.
Okay.
Okay. The rest of those, just hold them like this for me for a moment.
Okay.
I forgot to bring paper with me.
I could have got you a piece of paper, Buster.
This is funnier.
That is.
Plus, like maybe if it was paper, maybe I could do sleight of hand with the paper. I can't change my hand.
That's true. You
I
can.
can't. I'm very committed to this prediction right now. Zach.
Okay.
So you mixed them.
Yes.
You cut them.
Yes.
So what I was doing when I had you mix and cut before, I was watching. I was seeing a pattern. You actually are incredibly consistent. Most people are not. Most people, I've got to know, like, okay, they're going to cut short stack, then a big stack, then a short stack, and I see a pattern. You were actually like, you were almost dead center on both of your cuts, which means you probably would have been close to that on any future cuts as well. So my job was actually to estimate based on where you spread the cards and where I thought you were going to cut. I was looking for where I thought you would actually cut the deck and what card you would cut to.
Mm-hmm.
So just tilt your hand up. What card do you got there? It's the 4 of clubs. 4 of clubs.
God damn, dude. What? See, again, I don't
That's
know
my
how
real
he does
hand.
this.
I didn't switch
He
hands.
didn't switch it?
That's
Yeah.
the real one.
Even I, who've seen him do shit like this 1,000 times, it's still like, how did you fucking do that? Bananas. Absolutely bananas.
But here's the thing. Like, I was controlling the deck. I was telling you what to do with them. I totally could have, like, influenced how that all happened. I had a lot of influence during all of that.
Yeah.
You handled them. I could have done some hinky psychology stuff. I took psychology in high school for a whole semester, so I know some stuff. Zach, let's do this. Pick any card out of there.
Okay.
Anyone at all.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, pick another one.
Like hold 2? Or just a different card?
And another one.
Okay.
You actually need 9. Just grab 9 cards, Zach. That's
9
it.
cards.
God damn it.
Can you count that high?
It's not very nice.
We're about to see. Let's make sure I got 9.
Kids watching this at home, run and grab a pack of cards. You can play along too. Because we're actually going to do something that doesn't just work here with you. We're going to do something that if they follow along the video with a pack of playing cards in their hands, they can do the same thing. You need 9 cards, no jokers. Make sure the jokers are out of the deck.
Okay.
Usually I love the jokers, but not for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, Zach and I are not going to show each other what cards we pick, but we are going to show the cameras.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know what cards you picked. Mm-hmm. You mixed the deck and you pulled any random 9 cards out.
Yeah.
So you got to give me one little concession here.
Okay.
So hold the cards like this. This is called dealer's grip.
Okay.
Excellent. Now I want you to look at the 3rd card from the top. So that's 1, that's 2, that is number 3. That is going to be your card. The 3rd card from the top, okay?
Okay.
Look at the camera.
Okay.
Put it back in that position.
Can I
So
see
it's
yours,
3rd
Zachary?
from the
Put it
top.
to the camera.
Okay.
Got it.
Your card is 3rd from the top.
Yeah.
You kids at home, your card should be 3rd from the top in the stack of 9 as well. So Zach, we're going to do a spell.
Okay.
literally. We're going to spell.
Okay.
So my card, you don't have to tell me yours. My card is the Two of Hearts. So
Okay.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spell two. That's T-W-O. I'm going to drop the rest of the cards on top. Spell the value of your card.
Okay.
And just deal down one at a time and then drop the rest on top. You got to deal one at a time.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So just, okay. Okay.
And then drop the rest on top. He did that in his head, and it makes me a little nervous. Okay. Now,
You got to get someone who can spell for this trick, obviously.
Yeah.
I was less worried about the counting than I was about the spelling part.
Yeah.
Now, every card has a middle name, which would be of. So,
Okay.
pick the cards up.
Okay.
Spell O-F. Drop the rest on top. And then we have the suit. There's clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. So mine was a heart. So I'm going to do H-E-R-T-S. Drop the rest on top.
Okay.
You got the S, right?
Yeah.
So we've told the stack of cards what card to look for now. I said you're the only one who knows yours and the camera for
Yeah.
right now. So pick them up. Now here's the important part. We have to tell the stack of cards what to do with that information.
Okay.
So we're gonna spell here because that's what we want the card to be here. So
Okay.
H
H
E R
R
E. Drop the rest on top. Zach, what was your card?
It was good question. It was 3 of spades, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn that top card over. Show it to the camera.
That's sick.
Unfucking believable. That's magic. It's magic.
That's crazy.
And somewhere, somebody who's really freaking stoned just watched this video and played along and
Dude.
is losing their freaking mind.
Because
right
I
now.
legit thought I like spelled something wrong too.
I was watching you just in case. I would have told you. I was
yeah,
like,
I was
one,
like, good God,
two,
dude.
okay.
After you said, did you put the S? I'm like, I don't know.
And it was totally on the third take. This isn't the 37th take at all. That was the first try.
First try, baby.
Yeah, that is insane. That's wild.
Just follow the video. Just take the video clip, follow along, you'll be fine.
That is wild, though. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have so many card tricks. I know you have many other tricks too, but like, how many card tricks do you have like roaming around in your mind up there?
Oh my God. Because here's the thing.
Countless, right?
Before balloons, when I was really serious about magic, cards. I don't know why, but for some reason I decided cards were my thing. I love card magic. So yeah, like from the time I was 16 until now, there's a few hundred different card tricks fluttering around in my brain
Yeah.
up there. And more that I like half know. Because like I have a huge I've got probably close to 300 magic books alone in my library.
Okay.
So like literally hundreds of card tricks
Yeah.
to choose from. I forgot where I was going with that. So yeah, I know a lot of card tricks. And there's a whole genre of card tricks and also magic that is literally just for things like this. Literally stuff for, back in the old days, back in the old days, kids, before we had podcasts, we had a thing called radio. Literally before television, magicians would go on radio shows and do tricks with people at home like this.
Yeah.
And so like all the way from like the golden age of radio up till now, and there's still people developing new stuff for this now. And there's a really big resurgence during the pandemic because all the magicians were doing virtual shows, and you wanted stuff that could actually happen in somebody's hands, even though they are on the other side of the world watching on a screen. So there's just been a real resurgence in this kind of magic, and it makes me so excited because, I don't do a lot of virtual shows anymore, but occasionally I do, or even in a live show, I can have something like this where the audience all gets little packs of cards and they play along, and something really cool happens in their hands live in the audience.
Yeah.
It's that shared experience that's so cool.
Oh, that's really cool. That's sick.
You just did one of these on that variety show, right? That Halloween variety show that we were on, right? Yeah. So I thought.
Pillow Fright podcast. Halloween special.
Yes.
It's the same trick. It was the same trick.
It was
I
the
just
same
really
trick.
love this
Okay.
one.
It's a great little variety show if you guys want to check it on YouTube. Buster's on it, Barry's on it. It's a good time. It's a nice little Halloween treat after Halloween.
Also,
The Pillow Fright podcast. Halloween special. Starring Psychic Buster.
Psychic Buster. Oh my god.
I'd like to thank Puddle's Pity Party for inspiring the product placement. Just every time you watch him walk to stage, like, because he used to, like, before he got big, like, he would just, like, show up and do a song or two with the band that was there. And so, like, you know, there's a rock band on stage, and all of a sudden this, like, 6 foot something guy in a clown costume with a little tiny battery-operated lantern and a suitcase that says Puddle's Pity Party, just awkwardly makes his way through the mob of bodies, walks up on stage, and belts out a couple of amazing songs, and then just wanders back out. I thought it was the coolest thing that he always had that suitcase with him. Like,
I love that. I actually often
totally stole that from him.
wondered where the genesis of the suitcase came from, because you already had the suitcase when I met you, but that's a great origin story for the suitcase.
And then, like, it kind of, because, again, like, I really lean into, like, my most vulnerable side as Psychic Buster. And you know, because I know Jeff, and you and I have met a few times, and this is a very casual, fun thing, right? So it's easy for me to just relax. But normally when I'm around humans, I get very nervous and I don't know what to say. And I'm very quiet and very introverted a lot of times. And that's really the part of me that I put on display a lot in my shows as Psychic Buster. Because I want the audience to feel that vulnerability. Because if I'm willing to be that vulnerable with them, they're going to trust me to do weird things with their brain. But it also works out great because then when you take pictures after a show, I'm always holding my briefcase like this, literally back to the whole like having a shield thing. You know, I'm holding like I'm protecting myself, but it's also just the most beautiful product placement ever.
Now that you mention it, the very first picture that we have together,
yes, it is.
You're literally holding up the suitcase.
That was like 2 weeks after I made this thing. I was so happy about that.
That's really funny. Oh my god.
Okay, so ask everyone that comes to the podcast this question. Is there anything that you do every day or every once in a while to make sure you're reaching your maximum potential?
I get out of bed most days.
That's good. Like, literally, it could be anything. It could be just getting out of bed. Some people are just like, I smoke weed. And, like, some people, like, it's just like, it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I say jokingly, but also, you know, part of the whole neurodivergent adventure thing is also a lot of the issues that come with that. I've been dealing with, you know, depression and anxiety since I was in junior high. And probably before that, that's just when I realized that there was something different about me. And so, like there are days where literally just getting out of bed is a pretty big accomplishment for me.
Well, hell yeah, dude. I'm happy you came here. Like,
Me
this
too.
was awesome,
This was
dude.
fun.
This was fun. This was really fun, dude. You're really talented. Fucking, that was sick. That was awesome.
I gotta tell you, because I heard from the Santa Claus guy before I came here. And he said some things, none of which are true. I had a great time. So,
well, thank God. Oh man, and I'm happy you had a good time. And do you have anything you want to plug?
hire me. Just psychicbuster.com. Go there. Company Christmas party, corporate event, private party.
I'm going to put this out before the holiday season. Is there anything around the holiday season in particular perhaps you'd like to promote, Psychic Buster?
Yes, I would like to promote that I have a small dog at home that has a lot of needs. She's small, but she's very spunky. And I gotta like buy her some Christmas presents and some more doggy treats. So
That's fair, actually.
you just
That's
hire me so I can afford to spoil the 3.5 pounds of fluffy terror I live with. Thank you. Oh, that rose! Oh, right. I don't know anything about that rose because I'm not Santa. But if I were Santa, I would probably promote that on the... Is it the 22nd we're doing?
It's the 22nd.
Okay, yeah. The 22nd, December 22nd, in Los Angeles at the Hobgoblin Playhouse will be the roast of Santa Claus, hosted by Barry Under Your Bed. So Santa Claus will be there, Mrs. Claus will be there, an elf who may or may not have slept with Santa at some point will be there, and Barry Under Your Bed as Krampus will be there hosting the whole thing.
Hell yeah.
And they are going to roast the big guy right before Christmas. So
Hell
you
yeah.
should definitely come to that. It's going to be stupid and fun. But I won't be
That's
there
amazing.
because I'm definitely not Santa.
Because he's definitely not
Yeah,
Santa.
he is not Santa. Well, thanks everyone for watching this episode. Thank you for coming. This has been awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and
Camera 2.
stay maximum.
Camera 7.
Get
Camera 5.
mentalism.